In financial engineering, we design now products, new financial products, based on put and call options, long and short positions. Right? We have 4 possibilities. We have a long call or a short call. We have a long put or a short put. And based on these combinations, we can design virtually every product on Earth, financial product. Huh? Everything. So I will start, we divide in financial engineering 2 parts, so-called spreads and combinations. Spreads is always based on the same option using short and long position. Combinations, what I will do next time, is using the 2 types of options together, put and call. So let me start with spreads and give you an idea what we are doing next. So we combine, for instance, call options or put options, yeah? And we use a long and a short position. And then we have different products. All these products have sometimes funny names. You know, these finance guys are a little bit crazy. So, for instance, they call such a product then butterfly. And I will tell you what a butterfly is. We have calendar spreads. We have so-called price spreads. And here we distinguish between a bull spread and a bear spread. So let me talk about today about these price spreads. And now So let me explain the idea of a bull spread. And most of this is now just, as I told you, I do this graphically, not mathematically. I will also show you some math, but most is graphically. So I use always payoff function. And now I think about the following way. Pi is now a letter which I use for a portfolio. A portfolio is a box. And now inside of my box, I have a long call option. I have a call option. I call it with L to say long. It's a long position at a strike price K1. Yeah? And then I have also, but a short position. So I sell a call option, a short position, which is because I sell it, I have this minus, at a strike price K2. And I suppose that K1 is less than K2. So I have a portfolio pi, and in my box, I buy a option, a call option, at strike price K1, 100, and I sell an option, short, even if I don't have short sell, it's possible to do in finance. I sell an option at a strike price K2, 200, for instance. So, and now I have to figure out how does the payoff of my portfolio look like? So what is the payoff function of this portfolio pi? Well, to find the payoff of the portfolio pi, we just plot the payoff of the options. Well, the first one is quite easy because we know the payoff of a long call option at K1. Let's say K1 is here, K2 is here. We know that a call option, a long position in a call option looks like this. And the whole discussion here in the engineering part, we just take a look to the payoff function at the end of maturity, at capital T. Because everything before capital T leads us to Black-Scholes, pricing. It's far more difficult what is going on before. So let's first get an understanding what is going on at the end of my contract, at capital T. This is the payoff function of this. Now, we have to find the payoff function of a short position of a call option. Does anyone has an idea how the short position of a call option looks like? Yeah? Yeah. In principle, it it's the same function like this, but mirrored on the horizontal axis. So if you have a short option at K1, it's horizontal until K1, and then it goes down. Why? If this guy is making the profit, the short guy who is selling this option to this guy makes the loss. It's the opposite of this. But in this case, the short is for K2, so how does it look like? Well, it's horizontal, and then, because it's a short option, it goes down with slope 1. The short is, in the end, we talked, in the previous part, we talked about the two sides, right? And I said, well, there are always two sides. If one side is buying the option, there is another side that is selling me this option. And in the end, if I make the profit, the other guy who sold me the option has the loss. Yeah, if I don't exercise, no one makes profit or loss, the other as well. Therefore, it's just mirrored on the horizontal axis. And the same is obviously for the put option. Yeah? The put option looks like this. The short put option would then look like this. Okay, but back to this. Now, let's figure out what is the payoff of both. My portfolio payoff. Well, what we do to find now the portfolio payoff is we graphically add up the blue payoff and the green payoff. Yeah, that is what, because my portfolio consists of both, we just have to add up both together. Well, here we see both are 0. Well, then my portfolio is also 0. But then from K1 onwards, you see K2 is 0, but I make profits from, or a positive payoff from from the long position. Well, then my portfolio participates from the positive payoff from the first one. It's not affected by this, so the portfolio payoff obviously increases with the same slope of my blue line until we are at K2. Then we have to think again what happens. Well, what happens then if we continue here? You know, this continues on forever, and this goes on forever. K2. Well, we have, if we are on the right-hand side of K2, we make profits by the long position. But now it jumps in with the same amount, a loss from the short position of my call option. Therefore, my payoff stays. Yeah, it stays at this level. It's kind of the profits are compensated by the losses. Yeah, and therefore we stay here, constant. So the red curve is what we call a bull spread. That's the payoff function of the bull spread. And that is the first engineered product we did together. So we engineered a payoff function in red that is based on a long and a short call option. And it has this property. Why is it called bull spread? Well, that's once again these financial guys, they have for everything names. And when the market goes up, they call it, that's a bull market. Yeah? So if you watch Bloomberg, there are smart people, well, they say they are smart. They are sitting and say, well, I'm bullish. And that means, if I translate this guy expects that the market goes up. Yeah? And if the market goes up, you make profit with the bull spread in this segment. Yeah? If you believe that the price will go up in this range, it's good, and you're protected on this side, but you don't expect that the price goes up further than K2, then you have a bull spread is a good investment. Why is the bull spread a better investment than just having K1? Right? If I have just K1, if the market goes up anyway, then my profit would be even greater here, right? If I don't have the short position of a bull spread. But why should I buy? By the way, you can buy a bull spread, which is ready designed out of these two options. But why should I buy a bull spread? What is the logic? Why should I not just say, well, if the market goes up anyway, well, just buy a long option?
Because I'm also kind of safe when the market goes in the other direction.
Well, if the market really goes down, you just have the long position, this blue payoff, you are also protected if you just have the blue. Well, that's not the real explanation. There is something else. Luca?
Well, we've seen before that, we've seen the difference between stocks and options, and that the leverage is much higher with options, so we can make higher profits with options.
True, but here I am not comparing a stock investment, I'm comparing two options. Why should I hold a bull spread instead of just a long option at K1? So it goes in this direction, right? But it's not the full answer.
Well, if I just hit K1, I have like an unlimited upside, but also like the downside. If I combine these K1 and K2 with the bull spread, I have also limited downside, right?
Well, the simple explanation is the following. If I expect that the stock price will go up in this range, I expect that stock price go up, but I expect it may not move higher than K2. Then a bull spread is far cheaper than just having a long call. Why? Because in my bull spread I sell an option, and from selling something I get money. So therefore my initial investment is lower, and that increases my leverage. That is the explanation why a bull spread in a constellation, when the market price moves up in this range, is far more attractive, because the initial investment is lower. I lower the initial investment by selling this, by short selling this call option at K2 that gives me money, that lowers the cost I have to pay for this long option. I get all the profit from my long options. If I just have the long option, I have to pay for the long option. I have no reduction from this short sell of the short option at K2. So the bull spread is cheaper than a long option. And that is the justification, the reason why, in this case, if you expect such a development, a bull spread is a great idea. Well, the opposite to a bull spread is what we call a bear spread. Yeah? A bear spread and then we have to finish. Here's my. So, what is the bear spread? A bear market is the opposite of a bull market. Bull market, you expect the market goes up. Bear market, if you are bearish, you expect the market goes down. Well, this comes from the animals. That's the only thing I know. So you know, if a bear is in front of you, it touches you down. If you are a bull, the head is down and it goes up. Yeah, bull always this way, bear down. So bull spread, payoff. A bull spread, in the end, looks like in red. So the payoff of a bull spread probably looks like this, this, and this. So there are also a K1 and a K2. So this will be the final payoff at capital T of a bull spread. How can we get such a payoff profile? Yeah, so that is what I expect from you, that in the end either I give you the payoff profile, then you plot the graph, first the blue and the green, and then you construct the red one, or I give you the payoff and you tell me what are the options I need. So the red is my my bear spread, sorry, in red. Well, take a look. Here, not. We have here maybe a short call option. So I have minus a call option short at K1. That gives me some downward, and then we have to stay constant, this, so we have to eliminate the downward trend. Well, we need then a long call option at K2. And then we have a bear spread, sorry, bear. Bull is down here. Bear. Short at K1, long at K2. By the way, you can also get the same with put options. Can I give you a hint? If I look from the graph here, you can say, well, what we have here is a put option. So let me design the portfolio of a bear spread with put options. Well, we have a put option long at K2, yeah, with a payoff diagram I already illustrated today. And then we have, this goes up. You see, we need to cut off this, so we need also a short pull option that is compensating what is gained here by the loss here. So we have to sell, short sell, a put option short at K1. So what you see, we can design a product by either call options or put options. And I just use short and long. So I'm not mixing put and calls. And that is spread. A spread product just consists of the same, either call or put, but it's just a combination then of short and long position. When we talk about combinations, what we will do next, we also combine put and call. And then in the end we can combine everything. Put and call, short and long, and then we are the masters of the universe, somehow. Okay, any questions? So what I recommend for next week, get the terminology right by heart. You should understand the payoff functions of call options, long position, short position, and put options, long position, short positions. And you should know the terminology like what is the strike price, what is maturity, American options, and European options. It's very important because next time I continue with financial engineering, that is designing portfolio functions like this based on different combinations of options. See you next week. Bye-bye.